Normally, the UFC doesn't have a good track record of things being liked if it's being pushed in front of our faces. Power Slap is still coming in strong, being one of the worst things to happen in human history. The new UFC gloves flopped so hard that it might have sent the UFC vice president to depression, all because John Jones said he didn't like it. And let's not forget Nina Drama, who I think admitted that she was an industry plant, but it's a little bit of shoving shit in front of our faces. And now we have the AI implementation of the UFC, proudly produced by Meta AI and personally worked on by Mark Zuckerberg. This guy is a giant fan of MMA and the UFC, so he probably has some revolutionary tech to showcase not to us fans, but maybe the world.
Let's get into this. Hamzat Chimaev is number 12, okay? Max Holloway is number 10. The guy he knocked out is number 3. So I got to find some media guys that know the fight sport, that understand the sport of fighting, that are actually doing the rankings. So the rankings are definitely a problem. Moicano, I agree with you 100%. But don't worry, my friend. AI will be here soon, and this will all be fixed. We get all these bums that know nothing about fighting out of this shit and get AI in here, and we can fix all these rankings
later this year. And something that was interesting is you said that you'll have a media rankings and you'll have like the new AI rankings.
I said AI and human.
Forward, will you guys lean on one ranking more than the other? Like for graphics, will the AI rankings be the ones that you guys focus on? Or
listen, I'm not delusional and think that the AI thing is going to solve all the problems.
But don't worry, my friend. AI will be here soon, and this will all be fixed.
That's why we'll have 2 sets of rankings. We'll have AI and human. So I don't know. I don't know.
With every passing day, we have been getting small updates on Meta UFC AI. But even though these are frequent, none of it really tells anything. You know what? That's fine, right? Because they are working hard on it and they really want to make sure it's perfect and it's going to be a freaking banger from day one. But seeing Dana talk about it just makes me freaking confused. And if we are getting it sometime this year, I was hoping to get some hints onto at least what AI is being used for in the organization. All I know so far is that it's going to make super robot calculated rankings for the fighters. But how? Are they going to use AI and analyze every single movement and fight footage and see if it's perfect form, perfect textbook form or something? They are going to use AI to analyze how much damage each strike was and add some sort of, definitive power scaling? I don't fucking know. It's also not a good look when we also know Dana White is probably going to step down as UFC president this year as well. He's not looking like the entrepreneur Dana White anymore.
Like I said, Marab could have had his pick against any of these bantamweight contenders. So for you, why was this the fight that you felt should have been made?
This is the fight that people wanted to see.
It makes me a bit skeptical because MMA is basically the most, anti-AI sport I know. It's called mixed martial arts. It's freaking formless. What can AI do? If AI judges a fighter's form, predicts fights for them, or rank them, or God forbid becomes an official judge, AI judge in fights real time, then Duplessis in AI eyes would be an absolute freaking can. But look at him. Middleweight champion, finished Israel Adesanya and Robert Whittaker, and bet Sean Strickland twice. All of them were ex-middleweight champions. So I don't know what AI can do, but enough in my opinion. Michael Bisping dropped one of the most obvious promotional videos of all time talking about UFC AI. So let's at least, dive into that.
Having an AI ranking system, that is going to remove all of the bias from it. Simple as that, right? It's that easy, okay? If number 6 beats number 5, well then number 6 should progress up the rankings to be ranked number 5. It really isn't that hard.
AI rankings?
I said AI and human.
Think about the speed of a punch being thrown. It could be listed or it could be shown on the Meta glasses or on a screen in the arena. And you're like, holy shit, it's a good job he missed that one. That punch was 120 miles an hour. Or that head kick that he just moved out the way. And it makes it look even more impressive that the fighter was able to dodge that. So they could easily put some little sensors inside the gloves. And then with the Ray-Ban Meta glasses, you can get all that information on the lens. So it looks like it's right there in real time, as if you're in like some kind of virtual reality world. Now, this isn't an advert, by the way. Damage being the number one scoring criteria in mixed martial arts. And it should be, okay? We're not trying to hold people down. We're not trying to push them up against the fence. We're trying to do damage. We're trying to finish our opponent. So that's why now it's changed. In the past, if you took somebody down and you led on top of them, well, you got the takedown and you're winning the fight. Now you've got to do something with it. In the judge's eyeballs, that should only be seen as a change of position. And that's why you see people off their back, dropping elbows, dropping little rabbit punches, hammer fists, 12 to 6 elbows. The person on his back, that's doing that. That person's winning the fight. So if it registers how much force was in the punch, then of course, the fans kind of get an idea of how much damage it's doing to the opponent and whether or not that was a significant shot. Like, for example, sometimes you swing a big, massive shot and you see a fighter just take it, no problem. And you think, wow, that was a huge shot. This guy's got an incredible chin. Maybe just the way that he threw the shot and the way that it connected, there just wasn't much force generated. So it would give us a much broader understanding of what the fighter's going through inside the cage.
So Bisping mainly dives deep into the meta glasses for the UFC, which is basically super analytical data that gives a clear narrative of the fight. Like, that punch definitely had the force to KO him, but he wasn't KO'd because he had a super good chin. I see the appeal, and it might be a step forward. They are probably beta testing this on the glasses, and if it does well, it can be official live UI in fights that we can all see. Or becomes, round break replay highlights. I do understand damage is the top criteria of winning the fight, and that is good for excitement. But what happens if AI does a live announcement or call that, yes, this fighter is just hugging the cage? That's what it's saying. That's what the AI is saying. He's just hugging the cage, no damage. What the fuck's gonna happen? Ref gives him a yellow card? Then what? What if he's a wrestler? That's just how he wins fights. He's just gonna keep mixing the martial arts. And then what? Red card? And he gets disqualified? You want him to box with the freaking striker and get KO'd? That's exciting, yes, but what the fuck are we doing now? It just doesn't feel organic anymore. Trust me, I hate hugging against the cage as much as the next UFC fan, but is this really the right approach? Meta AI and the UFC are already super tight, and we all know the shadiness of the UFC. Even if AI does some crazy super definitive result or tier list showing who is the best fighter, I don't know what you can do with that. Unless it aligns with the UFC's motivations, this can just backfire. What if AI does say wrestling and being not, traditionally exciting is the most optimal way to become champion, to become the best fighter? What if not being exciting actually does make you win fights? What if Bilal Muhammad is considered the GOAT by AI? Full stop. Dana White is already deep into the connections, so I'm not going to be surprised if they manipulate the data to just fit their narrative, which defeats the whole purpose of the AI analysis system. They would just not promote data from the AI that they don't want people to know about, like, how effective and good control time is, and they would prefer, or they will instead promote, data of how powerful some industry plant prospects left hook is or something. So it's really hard to understand the principle that they are trying to implement into their company, besides, bandwagoning the buzzword AI into their brand. But then again, I'm just some cunt with a microphone, and these guys are suits with mansions. So, yeah, that's it.